All right, welcome to the video on Automata 7. So first of all, open up your project. Make sure there's nothing open yet. So you should just have a tab that says Untitled on it. If you do have anything open, please close it. And we're going to go open up our waffle and get to our Automata project. Now, you probably only have one thing that looks like a box in here. I have several just because I've made videos and different things, but you have one of them. And what you're going to do before we get started is we're going to make two copies of that. So go to what your Automata box with the things in it, and we're going to right click and we're going to copy that guy. Make sure it's in the same place as your other ones. Copy, and that's going to show up. It's going to give it the same name, but we're going to go and rename that copy that you just made and call the first one Automata Custom Cam. Let's call it, oops, I don't know what the heck just happened right there. Let's try that again. Rename. Automata Custom Cam, and we're going to actually put an ampersand and spin. We're going to do a spin thing in that too. Okay, so now we've renamed that. We're going to make one more copy of that. Right click, copy, put it in the same place. And this time we're going to rename that and call it Automata Prototype. Now, technically a prototype is something physical rather than something virtual, but we're going to call it that anyway because we're kind of designing what we're going to model. Okay, so once you've got all that done, we're going to start with our Automata Custom Cam and Spin and open that by double clicking on it, please. And that should bring up what you worked on last time when we were doing the cam analysis. Remember, we turned off a bunch of things, so we're going to go ahead and turn those things back on. Now, the reason why we made a copy is if we jack things up on this, we still have our original copy, so which could possibly happen. Okay, whoops, I don't want to see the joints. Okay, so let's get rid of some things. First of all, we're going to get rid of all of the risers. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. We're going to get rid of the ruler. Okay, we're going to get rid of the snail cam, the polygon cam, and is that it? I think that's all we're going to get rid of. And we're going to delete those things. It'll give you a warning because there's joints and stuff connected to those. Cool. So we've got those things done. All right. Now in a little bit, you're going to choose whether you're going to do the snail cam or the pear cam or eccentric cam to make a spinning motion. But first, we're going to insert your custom cam that you made last time into here. So let's do that just like we did the last one. So we're going to drag your custom cam that you made into here. Okay. Okay, and we're going to insert that into, I can't remember which way this thing goes now. I think it rotates. This is going to be the side that's on there. So we're going to do a rigid joint. We're going to go here. Actually, I'm going to go towards the back of this thing because I'm going to offset it to here. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. I meant to do that point. There we go. And we're going to drag that out. I'm going to flip it though. We're going to drag it out about, I think, 7/8 of an inch. If I look from the top, oops, then I can drag it until I can just see it right in there. Let's move it back just a tad. So 0.85 to 0.9. Let's call it 0.8875. 7/8. That's what makes sense. Okay. So we've now inserted our custom cam into here. Now you should have a custom cam riser. I'm going to just drag in my polygon. I don't think I have a custom one, but you're going to drag in your custom riser, and we're going to create a joint slider like we did before. I like to choose the middle. Okay, and create a tangent relationship between the bulb of the riser and the surface. Okay. And we can see now what your custom cam is going to do. Whoops, maybe I didn't make a rigid joint there when I joined that. Let's see what happened here. So, or maybe I didn't make a joint at all. If I can grab that and move it. The slider, let's go to the rigid between custom cam. Oh, I know what I did. I made it to the back instead of to this. Okay, let's try that again. I'm just going to delete it. Do that again. So let's go ahead and create a joint. Sorry you have to watch this happening. Let's go rigid. I'm going to choose this side, and this time I'm going to choose the end. That's what I forgot to do. And we're going to slide it. Am I going to flip it? No, that's the way it should go. And now I should go. Let's see. Let's look straight down from the top. Oops. There we go. Right smack in the middle. Looks good. Now we're looking good, and we can see what that custom cam does. Now, if this is glitching out and not working right, you can go ahead and go up to this selection set and just delete it and get rid of it if it's not working right, because this really was just for you to see how your custom cam works. All right, the next thing we're going to show you is how to do a spinner. So if you'll remember, we made this this hole a little bit offset from your or we made your snail cam was 1 inch, but then we only went a half an inch away. Now we're going to use this hole for something else. So let's start a new design, and you're going to make a spinner for this. So we're going to go new design. Let's go ahead and make a new component, create new component. Okay, we're going to sketch. I think we'll sketch on the top here because we're going to build from the bottom up. And let's make a couple of circles from the origin point. We're going to make one of them 1.25 inch and a quarter, and the other one will be 0.25 for the riser that's going to stick up out of there. All right, we're going to finish sketch, and we're going to extrude this guy 0.25 inches, the donut part, not the inside part. Okay, we're going to have to turn back on that sketch. Find your sketches, turn back on that sketch so we can use the hole in the donut, and we're going to extrude that hole. Let's go just up, oh, I don't know, let's go 3 inches on that. Okay. Now, just so we can see what's going on, let's sketch on the top of this. Make sure that you're selecting the flat place, and put a rectangle with a center point, center rectangle. We're going to connect it to the middle, just kind of like you made your sign when we did that assignment. Just something that looks like that. Finish sketch and extrude it, I don't know, an inch or two. We're going to do that and that and that, so we have a little rectangle sticking up. Just make it look kind of like the sign that you made earlier. Okay. All right, we should have 1 point. We can turn that sketch back off. Now we're going to save this as, let's just call it spin disk. I'm going to call mine 23 just because I already have one in here, so I know which is which. Okay. And now we're going to show you a couple of things to do here with making this thing spin. So we're going to come back into our Automata custom cam and spin. find that spin disc. See how I have one that I did already before, and we're going to pull that guy into your now, I want this one to be able to spin. So this time I'm not going to do a slider. I'm going to do a cylindrical joint. So we're going to go to joint. Motion this time is going to be cylindrical, so it will spin around. Slider doesn't allow it to spin. And we're going to do some point, probably that. And this circle that is offset from your circle cam. Okay. Pull that up. Now I'm going to show you two different things here. First, we're going to connect this to this like we have before with a tangent relationship. We're going to say the face of that to the face of that. Okay. Now that's going to move up and down, but notice that it's not spinning that. In the real world, it would spin that. So the next thing we're going to create is called a motion link, where we are going to link the crank rotation to the cylindrical rotation. So here we go up to a symbol, and there is this thing called a motion link. I just hit reverse position usually. The joints we're going to select are this crank joint. Okay, notice it shows what we're cranking in an angle, and the cylindrical joint. Okay, now it usually animates this. I'm not sure why it's not. Let's go ahead and click OK. See what happens. There we go. So as we crank this, notice that it is turning. So let's go ahead and animate the joint relationships with the crank revolute joint. And it should show us, make me a liar. Hold on. Try that again. Right click. Oh, I've broken it. Hold on. Well, it may or may not animate, but at least we can turn the crank. And let's see if it's going the right way. If my circle is spinning this way, it should rotate this when looking down counterclockwise. And it's not. It's actually going opposite. So let's edit that motion link. And we're going to have to reverse this. Now, when I turn this, it should turn it that direction. Good. So that's working the way it's supposed to work. Now, one last thing is this circle is about twice the size of this circle. So really, this thing would be spinning twice as fast as this thing, because for every revolution of this is turning twice. So let's make one more edit to this motion link, where for every 360 degrees the crank turns, the cylinder is going to turn 720 degrees. Let's see if we can animate it now. No, it doesn't want to animate. Not sure why that's not working. Yours might work. I don't know why mine's being glitchy. But now this should turn twice as fast, which it looks like it's doing. All right. One last thing, and this might be a little glitchy. I tried the pair earlier and it didn't work out, so I think we're going to skip the pair and just go to this. Will probably work better with the eccentric cam. I know I probably said you could choose, but let's do the eccentric instead of the pair. So we're going to turn off the visibility of the pair cam. And we need this circle to get closer. I think the distance between these two, let's inspect, although we could go look. Center point to center point is 0.5. So that works out really well. So let's go back to our sketch in which we made the holes. So if you hover over your timeline, you'll be able to see where you made the holes. And just previous to that was this sketch. And we're going to change this second one to 0.5 and the next one to 1.5. So we're going to change this to 0.5. Okay. And oops, 0.5. And this one to 1.5, so that we just changed basically the location of this point to scoot it over 0.5. Finish sketch. There we go, and that is looking good. Actually, I think I wanted to use this one to the right, and not that one to the left. Well, it's okay. We're going to stick with this things are going to hit each other, but I won't tell anybody if you don't. So let's go ahead and do this. So, all right, I'm going to bring in another circle riser, or whatever I had called that last one. I've got a bunch of them. It's my same one. I've done this lots of times. You only have one. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing again where we're going to make a cylindrical constraint. Cylindrical. And I'm going to put this, and I know it shares, and I'm breaking the laws of physics by sharing one space with another. But we're going to be okay with that. All right, now we're going to do those same two things, but this time it should also move up and down. So we're going to do a joint. We're going to do a, I'm sorry, not a joint. We're going to do a tangent relationship between the bottom of this and the face of that. Okay, now when I go to spin this, it should move that second thing up and down. Good. And finally, we're going to do a motion constraint. So we're going to symbol, motion link, okay, and we're going to link the crank to this second cylindrical, okay. This time, it's not quite as big as this one. So for every one of these, let's go 1.5. What's one and let's see, what's 180 plus? We can actually let it do the math. 180 plus 360 if you can't do it in your head. Enter. And let's see if we have to rotate it. Yeah, it's going the wrong way. So we're going to go ahead and go back and edit that second motion link. And we're going to just reverse it. Okay. And now notice that that second one, we can turn off the visibility of other things if you want, is now both spinning and moving up and down at the same time. All right. So that gets you done with your exploration. Your next step is that you are going to go in to your, and let's go ahead and save this one. And now you're going to go into your prototype, open that one up. Trying to open it up. And you're going to use this to start putting in what you want to see for your actual automata that you're going to make in class. So first of all, you'll probably like delete the ruler part because you're not going to want that. I don't know why you would. And you're going to start changing things around. You can change the holes. We learned how to do that last time by changing the location. You can also, in the sketch, you can also go to the holes and delete them. You can change whatever cams you want. Now, this doesn't have to be ideal. When you put this in and you're putting your own risers or modifying what's here, you can just get a general idea of what you want to put here, what you want to put in the background. Now, you have learned how to use decals and you have learned how to use laser cutouts and things like that. So those you can put on here to the best of your ability, but it's just to give you a general idea of how things are going to move and how things are going to work. Ideally, you'll spend about a half an hour to 45 minutes getting this kind of the way you want to see it. And then we'll call it a day and start working on the real thing. All right, be ready to show those to your teacher and get checked off. Hope it all works out for you. See you next time.